this on record. So anybody else got any? So well done, Stace, on that. That's fantastic, and we'll hear going forward how well they're doing. Anybody else got anything they want to celebrate in the business?
Yeah, I supported a team member over the phone, and the person signed up as a double gold.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
Nice.
that's real leadership there, because that's when your business turns, when you're starting having other people in your team doing stuff, and that's when it first, that's where we want to go. So fantastic, Carol, well done there. Celestine, I think you had your hand up, I saw somewhere.
Yeah, so one of my existing customers became a partner, and this morning we signed up a double gold as well.
Oh wow, incredible. That's fantastic. This is really good stuff, that because you know it is tough out there, and I'm seeing people, you know, doing okay, and if we look back January last year, you know, the business was rocking and rolling, and we can't even really compare the figures, but it's fantastic that people are doing stuff and getting results. Anybody else want to say anything? Arlene, have you got your hand up, or are you just stretching?
No, I've got my hand up. Not doing exercises just yet. Yes, excuse me, I've got a bit of a chest infection, so.
That's all right.
Yeah, I signed up a partner.
Okay, brilliant,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He came on as a customer last month.
Okay.
And came under a partner this month.
Brilliant, fantastic. So yeah, just get working with Fast Start and whoever your uplines are and stuff like that, and just keep going. It sounds sounds great. Anybody else?
I signed up two Daffy Gold.
Only two? She's frozen. She's gone into
Brilliant, Lorraine.
I'm sure we'll hear more about that when Lorraine comes back to us. Are you with us, Lorraine? No, but I think she signed
Sorry,
up.
Carol? No, can you hear me?
Oh yes, you're back.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I signed up last week 2 Daffy Golds, but obviously I've signed up other customers in January. So.
Ah, fantastic. Obviously signed up other customers. I mean, what else did you expect? Well done, Lorraine. That's keeping pushing it forward. So I think what we have to remember to do is always in our businesses and you know, within our teams, celebrate that achievement, no matter how small we think.
I think Elaine had a hand up as well, Lloyd.
Oh,
I think.
Elaine, okay, where's
and Dalton.
Okay, and Dalton, let's go for it. Go on then.
I'll let Lily. Do you want me to go first?
If you want to let me go first, I'll go.
Yes,
I'll go
please.
first. Thank you very much, Dalton. No, just to say that I supported one of my partners. She signed up 2 customers, and a partner in one weekend, over one weekend. So I feel very proud of that. And I've, you know, in January, I signed up somebody. Well, I signed up a Daffy Gold as myself.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes,
brilliant. Well done, Dalton. Now you've woken up. Let's.
Yeah, it's the wonder of Zoom, because even though I was sick last week, I was assisting, supporting, and he signed up 5 customers last week.
Wow.
And he's a military guy, just 4 doors from me. And he's signed up another customer this week.
Yeah.
And myself personally, I've done a double Daffy Gold myself.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you guys are rocking. How comes none of you in my team? This is like that's brilliant. And you know, we it's just keeping this going, and it's consistency, and it's just like saying, okay, we just let's do this for 5 years, 10 years. And then we can relax and maybe put our feet up. But it is really important just to keep that consistency going. And because when we start seeing those numbers moving in the Genie, it gets us excited in the morning, and we just want to keep seeing those numbers creep up and stuff like that. Because I know, Carol, your numbers have been going up recently, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've gone up recently.
So about 6 this
That's
week. Yeah,
incredible.
this week alone. Yeah.
6 in this week alone. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That's what we want to start seeing in our businesses, the numbers going up, and then we start hitting those little levels with the team, FTLs, TLs, and that's what pushes us up the plan. So that's fantastic. Well done, everyone. Just keep that. I said at the beginning there were still some people finding it tough and whatever, and these are challenging times. So I've asked Michael to speak this week and have a real discussion about our mental health and how we cope with things and some of the things that, you know, I'm saying to all my team, look, don't worry about anything. Okay, really don't worry about anything. We do what we can, and what we can't do, we leave for another day. So Michael, where's Michael gone? Oh, there he is. So Michael, if you'd like to take over for us and give us some words of wisdom.
Thank you very much, Lloyd. Good evening, everybody. It's really nice to see everybody. I really enjoy the Fridays, and thanks for Lloyd and Lorraine for getting this together. For me, it's great. It's really great. So it's going to be talking a little bit about our well-being, and as I'm going along, if anybody has anything to say, please just butt in. It's all right. It's not. I'm not like, you know, school teacher. So yeah, if you've got anything to say or anything that you do that is helping you, we're here to share information, so we can just support each other, as Lloyd said. So yeah, please do jump in. These are just some of the things that I do. Being a wellbeing consultant, running my own wellbeing consultant business, I found out that basically at the end of the day, we need to look after ourselves, and that needs to be what I call a non-negotiable priority in our lives. And I do stress the non-negotiable part of it,
Yeah,
because what I've been finding, and this is with myself, I'm talking about myself, is that when I was at work, I didn't used to prioritize taking breaks, looking after myself, eating properly. It was always something that I did as a secondary thing to my job, which I found to be very detrimental personally, which is why I started the wellbeing consultancy. So what I'd like to share with you, I've got 3 points that I basically would like to sum up how I think well-being should be approached. But I said, you know, if you've got any ideas and anything you want to say, please jump in. I'm not a world leading authority on it. It's just, this is all through practice and trial and error that I've come to these points in my life, basically, that I found have been helping me. So the first thing I think is really important about looking after our well-being, and a lot of it is actually quite linked to our UW business, strangely enough, it is quite strange, is establishing routines. Now, or people call them routines, some people call them habits, yeah? Now, bad habits are formed almost, I wouldn't say by accident, they're formed unconsciously, and good habits are formed consciously, okay? So when I talk about establishing a morning routine, I'm particularly talking about the morning because it's the part of the day where we have, whether we believe it or not, a lot of control over. What I found is that if you can get up as early as you can to then focus on yourself, that might be maybe getting up and doing a little bit of reading, maybe reading your personal development, you know, making yourself a healthy breakfast if you want to eat breakfast, or whatever you might want to do, or exercising. Now, I try to get up as early as I can to do my exercise at the beginning of the day. I appreciate that not everybody can do that because we all have different lifestyles and different timetables, and that's totally understandable. But through trial and error, and my wife has found this out as well, she could testify to this, the earlier you get up and do your stuff for yourself, you actually free up the rest of the day. Because what used to happen is that we would get up in the morning, we'd do all our work stuff, and then we'd say, well, at some point today, I'm going to do some exercise. And what inevitably happens is that you don't do the exercise. It goes out the window because life happens, and then things start happening as the day goes on. You start doing all those important things that you need to do. And so the exercise goes out the window. So this is why I do encourage people to try to establish a morning routine. And a morning routine is something that you stick to. So you work it out for yourselves. You will find the best time in the morning for yourself. Sometimes people say the morning because usually it's the quietest time. You've got a few minutes for yourself to think, to focus your mind. Some people like to meditate. They might meditate, they may pray, they may read, but it just sets up your mind before the day starts. And if you read about, I'm sure you've done in your personal development books, you read about a lot of these successful people, your Randy Gages, they have a morning routine. And nothing breaks it, so before they pick their mobile phone up, before they turn on the news, before they go to Facebook, they go through their morning routine. Mine personally, I get up at around about between 5 and 6 a.m. Depends on the night I've had before. I get up in the morning, I read, and then myself and my wife will pray together. Then I will do some meditation. Then I'll listen to some affirmations and then a benediction. Then I will go for a 5-mile walk. Then I'll come back home and have breakfast. I have breakfast then. By the time I've done that, I'm ready to start work. So that all happens between 6 and 9 or 5 and 9. But I didn't just wake up and do that. That happened. That was established over time. I had to work out what worked for me. But it really does make a massive difference, because what you find is that in those 3 or 4 hours, whatever it is you wake up, you've done things. You've actually completed things already before you start work. And that puts your mindset in the place of, actually, look, you look down your list, I've actually completed 4 or 5 things before I started my working day. So you're actually in a mind frame of success before you actually start your day. You've gotten up early, you've exercised, you've read some personal development, you've done a little bit of exercise. That's 4 things. So you are achieving things. You're putting yourself in the top 5% by doing that, by establishing a morning routine, getting stuff done. Your day is successful before you started. So your mind is in a success mind frame before you've actually done any actual work, whether that's your daily job or your UW stuff. So your body, your mind is in a success of you've completed things. And that's a really powerful way to start your day, with things already completed. When I go for my walk and I come back and I walk through the door, I just say, hang on a minute, I've just done a 5-mile walk. It's like, whoa, it's like, I feel quite chuffed, actually, and then 5 miles a day. So I walk an average of about 30 to 35 miles a week, just by getting up early and doing a daily walk. And then when you look at the end of the week, you think, hang on a minute, I've walked 35 miles in a week. It's quite powerful stuff. So it's not only physically good, it's mentally good as well. So with your well-being, you're looking at your physical and mental. It's not just the physical stuff, because they go together. They're closely linked. Oh, Lorraine, sorry, you got your hand up. Do you want to say something?
No, I would just say that
Oh, sorry.
it's a good, which I followed from before. But just to say to everyone, when you first start it off, it is a little bit of a challenge, because your mind sort of wants to wander. But after about a week, you get into that routine and you do follow through. So it's very, very good, Michael.
Yeah, so thanks, Lorraine, for that. So as you say, building up a good morning routine. And I'm not saying that you can stick to it every day. Some mornings you can't stick to it. We live in the real world. Sometimes things happen and you slip out of it. But it's more positive than negative. So maybe sort of 5 times out of the 7 days of the week, you'll stick to the routine. And it drives you. What happens is you build up the routine and you build up a positive habit. So it becomes a habit. And your body will automatically want to get up. You'll automatically want to do that exercise. You'll want to read. And the other thing about routines as well, what I do with my personal development books is that I read 5 pages a morning, 5 or 2. I get 2 books. I've got 2 books on the run now, and I will read 5 pages a morning. And you think, well, 5 pages a morning, what's that? What's the point? The point is, you take up that book and you read those 5 pages every morning, you'll finish your book in a month without thinking about it, without stressing, because you just think, oh, 5 pages, what's 5 pages? But it's the compound effect again, coming 5 pages every single day, 5 pages, 5 pages. Get through 12 books a year. That's more than the average person reads. you know. So again, it's these small little habits that equal really big results. So don't knock it. You know, you think, well, what's the point in 5 pages a day? Not going to get through that. You'd be surprised how quick you get through it, because it's a constant building up of a good habit. And I was not a very big book reader. I have to put my hand up. I used to read when I was at school. I left school, didn't need to read, so I didn't really bother. But when I started doing personal development, I said, I've got to find a system that works for me. And for me, 5 pages a morning works. I get through books now, so I'm actually reading books. I also listen to audiobooks as well. So if I'm out walking, I'll listen to an audiobook. So sometimes I could be on maybe 2 or 3 books a month. And I was never like that before, never did it. But building the morning routine has helped me get into that frame of mind. And I'm reading books now, which is like unheard of. So that is just to show the power of routines, positive habits. They can move you from, you know, something that you never did before to actually completing things. And it's just like with our UW business, you know, we make 3 or 4 phone calls a day. What's the point? But we know those 2 or 3 phone calls a day will lead to club members, customers, you know, because it's the consistency. So it's the same in our well-being. It's exactly the same principle. So none of this is really new. I'm not telling you anything new, but it's just to show how powerful having a morning routine is. Secondly, the one that we all been doing and we all talk about, regular daily exercise. And the only thing that's in there that I would want to focus on is daily. Because, you know, we all know that we can exercise when we feel good and you think, oh yeah, I'm really in a good mood today, I'll go out and exercise. And other days, like it's raining, it's really cold, you think, oh, well, I'll stay in. Because he's Stacey laughing. I'll stay in, I won't bother, I'll do it tomorrow. And I'm going to say, no, don't do that. Regular daily exercise. Even if you have to exercise inside your house, you can walk around your house. You don't have to, if it's cold or you don't want to go outside or you haven't got your wellies on, don't worry, but do something. Our bodies were made to move, and the longer we stay seated in one place, the stiffer we get. And it's no good for us. As we know, we're on Zoom now. We're on Zoom because we have to, because of the situation. So what we do, we adapt and survive. When a problem comes about, we look at how we can get around it. And what I've been telling a lot of people I've been working with is that, well, we can't do this. I said, hang on a minute. We know what we can't do. Focus on what we can do. We all know we're on a lockdown. We know that. Leave that alone. What can I do? So again, it's a mind shift. Yeah, I can walk. Yes, they didn't say I can't go out for a walk. No, get out and walk. Even if it's for 10 minutes a day. Again, small chunks. You don't have to walk 5 miles a day. You don't have to do that. You build up slowly. Those 10 minutes a day are better than no minutes a day. And you add them all together. At the end of the week, you've maybe walked for an hour and a half. So focus on what you can do. And you can regularly exercise on a daily basis. And now you've got the yoga, you've got all the stuff on UW. So, you know, it's becoming more accessible. But again, make sure you find the time to do it, you know, because we're very quick to say, well, I'll do it later, and don't do that. Don't put it off. Your well-being is a priority. And I'm going to say it again. I'm not apologizing for saying this. We have to make it a non-negotiable priority. You cannot negotiate it, because at the end of the day, if we become unwell, we can't do our business, you know, obviously we haven't got to the point where the business is running itself. Well, that's what we're aiming for. But until that time, we are as important as our business, if not even more so. As Lloyd was saying, you know, we need to look after ourselves, look after our families, because if we don't care for ourselves, the negative knock-on effect goes on to our families, and that's not fair. You know, just because I couldn't be bothered to take care and look after myself, my family got to look after me, that's not fair. So we do everything within our power. Sometimes you get sick, you get an infection. Okay, that happens. That happens. We're being realistic, but you do everything in your power to keep yourself well. And so I always advise people to make their well-being a non-negotiable priority, hence the always take your lunch break thing. Yeah, when you're at work, have a break from the computer, shut it down for a few minutes, get away, try and eat somewhere that's not in front of your computer, and then come back. Just leave it for a few moments, that screen. You know where we do a lot of our work on it, but try and have a break from it and come back. The third thing I want to talk about, sleep and nutrition. First of all, I'd like to shout out that I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just talking about eating as healthy as you can, okay? So I'm not going to go into the deep ins and outs of food, but sleep is really important as well. Sleep is the time that our body repairs itself. It's absolutely vital. You know, get as much sleep as your body needs, because again, we are all different. So some of us might need 7 hours, some might need 6, 8, whatever it is. You know yourselves by now. You know yourself by now. You know what you can handle, you know what you can't. But I would definitely emphasize making sure that you do get quality sleep. When I say quality sleep, if you can, I know my wife and me and my wife are at odds over this. I turn off my mobile phone at nighttime. I turn it off. Okay, it's got an off button. I don't take calls when I'm sleeping, so I turn it off. Okay, if you can, please turn your mobile phone off when you go to sleep, unless you sleep talk. Okay, if you do, that's well, great. But I don't. I turn my mobile phone off. When I get up in the morning, I turn it back on again. If there's a call came in the middle of the night, they can leave a message. That's what the answering service is for, right? Turn the phone off and go to bed. And then when you wake up, don't turn it on. Please don't let it be the first thing you turn on. Don't do it. I know it's tempting. It's tempting. Who's called me? Who's liked me on Facebook? That like will be there at lunchtime. Please don't turn it on. Please don't turn it on in the morning. Give the phone a rest. Yeah. Let the phone get a rest. Turn it off. Turn it off. Let it charge it overnight, and then in the morning turn it back on once you've done your morning routine. That's establishing the morning routine bit. Yeah. And if you can, again, this is a massive if. Put your phone in another room. Let it charge in another room. Some people put it downstairs so they can't actually just nip in and get it or grab it next to the bed. Put it in another room. Mine goes in the office. I don't see it at nighttime. I don't see it. Get up in the morning and I find it and go and switch it on. So keep it out of sight at nighttime. Your sleep is majorly important. You just need to rest your head, rest your body, clear your mind, and have a good night's sleep. Nutrition, eat as healthily as you can, guys. I like sweets and desserts and chocolates and biscuits. Put my hand up. But I'm trying to cut down on that stuff because I know it's not good for me. I can't survive on that. Okay, I'm a realist. So I try to replace the sweets and biscuits with fruit. So I'm starting to eat a lot more fruit now, drinking a lot more water, eating healthily as well, as much as I can. Actually, one of the things that's working for me is having my breakfast after I've done my walk. Strangely enough, it builds up an appetite, and I've got less time to think about it. When I come in, I usually go for the healthy stuff. Before, I was eating before I went out, and I was just grabbing rubbish and just eating it and going out and feeling horrible. But now, once I've built up that massive appetite after doing the 5-mile walk, I'm thinking, oh, I feel really good. So I'm thinking, right, I've just done something good. Let me do something else good. Let me eat healthily. So again, that positive actions of a knock-on effect. You're thinking, I've just done a great walk. I've just exercised. I'm not going to go mess that up. And so I consciously go for the healthy foods. So there's another little mind trip. Exercise before you have your breakfast. Try it. It works. Try it. Because you think I've just had a really great workout. I feel good. You're thinking, well, I want to continue that feeling. You're going to drive yourself to pick up something a bit more healthily than maybe a Pop-Tart or something. Anyway, Pop-Tarts for those of you a bit older, if you don't do them now. But yeah, so they're the 3 things that I would really focus on. Number 1, establish a morning routine that works for you, okay? Which would doesn't involve the phone. This is about your personal development, maybe reading something, a bit of time to meditate. And meditation doesn't mean crossing your legs and chanting. You can sometimes just be quiet. You can just be quiet for a few minutes. You don't have to go, you don't have to do that, okay? You can just sit down and be quiet for a few minutes. Just focus your mind, clear your mind before you start your day. Regular daily exercise. Daily, yes, not like Lloyd, but daily exercise, okay? Monday through to Sunday, yeah. Even on a Sunday, get up, go for a 5-10 minute walk. it's the compound effect of doing it every day. You don't have to walk for miles, but just a 15-20 minute walk every single day. If you can get out, if you can't get out, do it inside. No excuses. It's about can do, right? Not what you can't do, can do. Walk up and down the stairs if you have stairs, or if not, just walk around the block where you live and come back in. And third of all, sleep and nutrition. Get quality sleep and eat as healthily as you can. Okay. Obviously, have a little treat every now and again, because I do. So I'm not gonna tell you what to do that I don't. I do treat myself on the weekends, have a bit of ice cream, but generally eat as healthily as you can. Right, I'm going to be quiet. I hope that was helpful, and handing back to Lloyd. Thank you so much for listening.
Fantastic. Wow, that was brilliant stuff, Michael. And, you know, I said right at the beginning of this journey, you know, the mental health and that type of thing is going to be the foundation of what we do here, because it's so important. It's actually vital. And some of the things that I'm taking notes here and, you know, talking about routines and habits. And when you were talking about habits, the thing I was thinking, maybe it was for me personally, is all the bad habits that I have personally. So yeah, you've got the good habits, but I'm picking up the little bad habits, like the phone. My phone sits on my bedside table, and sometimes even 3 o'clock in the morning, I will wake up and whatever, and I'll pick up my phone. And, you know, that's probably not the best for you. So also watch out for some of the bad habits you're doing. And I'm, you know, really I'm getting better all the time, but going out every day and doing stuff and being active, it's so easy to, you know, just sit there and switch on Judge Judy or something like that, when I know I probably should go out for a walk or something like that. So it is getting rid of some of those bad habits and replacing them with good habits. And I know from a fact that when I started this business, we used to call it a daily method of operation. So I had my demu, okay, and I made sure I did the important things, the list, the calls, and all my things I had to do alongside my job at the time. And that's when the business was growing, okay. And in fact, I'm almost tempted to go back to some of those days, and because a busy person gets things done, as opposed to sometimes we got too much time on our hands. So yeah, I love all those things. I think the sleep for me is going to sort of be in conflict with getting up at 5 a.m. I only recently discovered there were 2 5 a.m.s in the day. I don't know what that's about. So going to have to work that out and maybe go to bed a bit earlier. I'm a bit of a night owl, so I'm used to going to bed at, you know, 1 2 a.m. and stuff like that. So maybe I'm going to have to get into some good habits. But thank you very much for that, Michael. That's, you know, really important information. And it's not something to just say, okay, yeah, I've heard Michael talk about it before, and I know I should be doing that, but I'll start next week. The best time to start, I always say, was 20 years ago, but the second best time to start is today. Okay, so make that part of your day. So what we're going to do, we're sort of like wrapping up now, because what we're trying to do here is just baby steps, slowly. I don't want to inundate you with all this sort of stuff that will come. And do you know what? The basis of our business, which is sharing information with people who aren't in our business, is not that difficult. It's not that difficult. We can all do it. We heard at the beginning, we can all do it, but we have to first get our head in the right place. Because if we get our head in the right place, then we'll do it. So, but what I want to do in 2 weeks' time, okay, is I think the basis of our business is the presentation we do, the appointment presentation. And without a shadow of doubt, in the last 24 years that I've been in this business, those who've done the most presentations have the biggest business.
That's right.
Doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter the words you say, doesn't matter if you've got, you know, a great personality. I mean, if you look at me, if you saw me 24 years ago, I'm a green personality that don't really like people, okay? But I knew, because I read about it, that the more presentations you do, the bigger business you have. So I was just presentation. So in 2 weeks' time, on the 5th, we're going to be looking at the presentation. And when I say we, I mean we. It's not going to be you watching me do a presentation. We're going to be talking about it, and I want to hear from you guys what you're doing, because I'm hearing people are signing up partners or supporting people and whatever. So you must know what you're doing. So in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have a look at the appointment presentation. And then what I thought 2 weeks after that, okay, we're going to hold a virtual op. Okay, that's when we can invite some guests in and whatever. And I'm going to tell you now, I won't be doing the op. Okay, so probably someone sitting here now on this call, probably 2 or 3 of you will be doing that op. And you know, don't let that scare you, don't let that worry you, because you've all done it anyway. Okay, so that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start doing the nuts and bolts of the business, how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. The other thing we're doing, so some of you will know Derek Thomas, NGL in the business, great guy. He's got a lot of information to share, and some of you will have been part of. He used to do Saturday morning workshops back end of last year, so we're starting those again, and the first one's tomorrow, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And tomorrow we're actually going to be talking about mindset and some of the stuff we can do with that. But again, if you're available, all these are recorded, so don't worry if you miss it. But these are vital sort of stepping stone, basic stuff to hear again and again and again and share with your team. So I know I did see Celestine had put the link in the group. We'll reshare that again. Make sure if you're available, get on that, because this is now learning your trade. These are the things that will get your business moving. And once it's moving, we want to keep that moving. The other thing we've got, one of the team I've got who's in his 20s, okay, we've got quite a growing business of people who are under 30, okay. Now, I'm not saying, you know, when I joined the business, I was unbelievably in my 20s. I know you guys can't believe that, but I did used to be in my 20s, and it is slightly different. So Dan Wells and James Thomas and some of those guys out there who are in their 20s, they also regularly do an op for under 30s. Okay, so if you've got anyone in your team, I can see some of you ladies, you look like you're under 30 to me. Invite your guests along to that, and again I'll be posting the links and stuff like that. So there's lots going on, but don't get overwhelmed. Okay, still only do what you can do, and if it means you've got to miss a Saturday morning training, no problem. If it means you've got to miss a weekly op, no problem. We still got to fit everything in with our lives. So that's what we're doing. It's exciting stuff. I'm really pleased of what's going on here. So keep the communication going. We just got a couple of minutes left. Anybody want to say anything or give any tips or give any experience with their morning routine or anything like that?
I'll give one, Lloyd, to the team. What I've done is in the back of, this is my to-do book. Sorry, I'll do it this way. This is my to-do book. So what I've done, I think it was after Michael's last speech, I've written down my my positive daily habits here.
Okay.
So when I wake up in the morning, and as I said, I'm not going to say it's easy, but I have done my best to try and stick to where I can. You're not always going to, but as soon as I wake up, before I even do anything, being a Christian, I always say, dear God, thank you for giving me another day. Thank you for waking me up this morning. And then once I've done that, I'll thank God for my family and friends. And I have a prayer list that people ask me to pray for them. Yeah. So I do that. Then I do the meditation. Then I do the exercise. Now, I followed it from Michael's last Zoom. And what I've done, I've also, in brackets, call it my non-traveling time. So because I'm not traveling to work anymore, I use the hour to do these. And then I get up after I've exercised, and then I'll get washed, get dressed, and have my breakfast. So it just keeps track. So that's another way you could write it down to remind yourself, what is it you're going to do as your daily habits?
Absolutely.
Because when you say verbally, you can just forget.
Yeah.
And another way that I do, that I think if people who don't like writing, is just on a Sunday afternoon, whatever day, I put everything in my in my Google diary, whatever, so that it's on my phone, it's on my PC, and I've got everything there. So if it's meditation, what time I'm doing it, what time I'm exercising, what time, I put everything in there, everything, appointments, everything's in. So I look at my day and it's all planned out or on my planner, but I've got everything there. So I look at, so I know what I'm doing for the whole week.
Excellent.
So it really,
Yeah.
it's really helped me, because then it makes me feel organized and got routine going. I put everything in there, even what I'm doing in my day job, everything.
We are
doing
going
for the
to
whole
get
week.
cut off. We are going to get cut off. So
Yeah.
I don't